Guru. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Para Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.
Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.
So today we are kicking off the first session of the Imagine Cup Junior. Last time we had an online webinar and we also had some introduction on what the Imagine Cup is all about. Today we will cover the first session. There are total 5 sessions, 1 hour each, and today we'll cover the first one. In this presentation slash session, we will go over what are the artificial intelligence for good categories identified by Microsoft. In other words, which are the areas or categories in which we can submit our ideas or develop our ideas. And then what is the process looking like, the timelines looking like. We will also form the teams, pick up ideas, and decide on the next steps. So let us go. This is being recorded, right? So let me share my screen. And start the presentation. And after the presentation, we can have a small question and answer session in case you have any pending questions, etc. So this presentation begins with a small video from Microsoft.
We are so excited that you're watching this video and taking part in our Imagine Cup Junior AI for Good Challenge. I'm Lee, this is Tina, and this is Pablo. And we are the creators of Imagine Cup Junior. So we thought we'd take a moment to outline the challenge to help get you started. So Pablo, what exactly is Imagine Cup Junior?
So Imagine Cup Junior is a brand new challenge that we have for secondary students across the globe. It's an opportunity for you to team up with your peers and bring your ideas to life with the power of artificial intelligence. I manage the Imagine Cup competition, which is our collegiate competition for students, and they came up with amazing things, and I cannot wait to see what your secondary school students come up with this year.
So Tina, what is the challenge for students this year?
So your challenge is to come up with something new and amazing that can make a difference to our world using the power of artificial intelligence. The topics you can choose from are AI for accessibility, AI for Earth, AI for humanitarian action, and AI for cultural heritage. As you work through this challenge, you'll come up with lots of ideas with your group. Think about how you would like to make a difference and make sure to choose a project that's unique and one that you and your teammates feel most passionate about.
Together, Tina, Pablo and I have the opportunity to work on programs for students all around the world to understand technology and leverage it in ways that can truly change the world. We know that the best ideas come from the amazing minds of students, and that's why we can't wait to hear from all of you.
You're one of many students globally who are taking part in this challenge, and we are so excited to hear the ideas that you all come up with.
Good luck. This is a great opportunity, and Microsoft is so excited to partner with your school to bring Imagine Cup Junior to all of you.
So this was small intro by Microsoft. And I guess we've already covered this, some basic introduction. Now, if we want to revisit what are the 5 sessions going to be about, this was in one of the earlier presentations as well. You can see that the lesson 1, which we are covering right now, will basically help us to choose a problem that we need to work on and form the team. So that's for getting started. The lesson 2, which will be the next one, will help us to learn the basics of AI and go deeper into which all tools we can use, especially the ones provided by Microsoft, to solve some of the real world AI problems. Lesson 3 is around how do we use those tools and develop our idea and innovate on the idea and concept. Lesson 4 is around ensuring that the AI solution that we are developing is following the ethics of AI and within the guidance provided by Microsoft. And lesson 5 is around the submission of the concept or the solution to Microsoft. So as you can see, over a period of 5 sessions, we will go right from starting and choosing the idea to submitting the idea within the framework provided by Microsoft itself. So lesson 1 starts with some of the inventors that Microsoft has identified for your inspiration. So let us explore a couple of people who have created some powerful solutions and technologies that has made some real difference in the world. And as you might have seen in the webinar provided by Microsoft, Alan Turing is the founding father of the field of artificial intelligence. He is the one who actually came up with the concept of Turing complete machines and developed the first so-called computer that broke the um, encrypted codes during World War II. He is also credited with a lot of complicated concepts like lambda calculus, etc. And using all this, he was able to shorten the World War II and save many lives. So any sort of computing that we do nowadays and use any sort of artificial intelligence anywhere, we can attribute it all to Alan Turing. Alice Zhang is the founder of Verge Genomics. Her inventions are around using AI and machine learning to develop medicine for complex diseases. Her company especially is focusing on combating ALS and Parkinson's, which are brain diseases. But at the same time, similar approaches have been used to come up with the vaccines for coronavirus in a very short time. So the reason the COVID vaccine has been developed very speedily within a short period of time, unlike other vaccines in the past, one of the tools that they've used to accelerate is artificial intelligence and machine learning. So we are already seeing all these things in action. The reason all these things are so speedy is that AI and ML is being used already. Hamayal Chaudhary and Samin Khan, they are the inventors of something called a smart arm, which is a prosthetic hand powered by AI. The thing with prosthetic hand is that earlier they used to attach it to nerve endings and the amputated arm, and predict the movement by the muscle movements, but finger movements by the muscle movements, but that was not very accurate. So what these guys have done is bake in some sort of AI in the arm itself, which learns on the go of how a user is trying to operate the arm and adapt according to the user impulses. So this is also a great contribution in the accessibility area. This is one of the areas that Microsoft has also outlined. They are looking for ideas and contributions here. And now Microsoft is looking for guys like you to come ahead and solve some cool real world problems. So bonus activity here. Go ahead and search more inventors who have made a difference in the world through technology. In particular, try to see and find some artificial intelligence inventors. That will give you a really good idea about what sort of ideas people are having and what sort of problems they are solving, and also will give you some idea about the field itself. So this is an activity that you are supposed to submit by the time we have our next session. So go ahead and find a couple of AI inventors and see if you like their ideas. Now let us go over the AI for good categories outlined by Microsoft. So this is very important part of the presentation. This basically outlines that our ideas need to fall into one of these categories. While there are a lot of other spaces where AI is applicable and they are interesting as well, Microsoft is particularly looking forward for the concept of AI for good, which they think is really important for the world right now. So they are basically 5 AI for good categories, starting from AI for Earth, AI for cultural heritage, AI for accessibility, AI for humanitarian action, and AI for health. Let us briefly go over the 5 different areas. Let me see if there is any message here. All right, so let us start with AI for Earth. I'll play a short video provided by Microsoft. It will give you an overview about what sort of problems they are looking forward for.
There are an estimated 90,000 threatened species across the globe. To understand what puts a species at risk, we need to know where are they born, how many survive, where do they go, how far do they go.
At Wildbook, we are using an algorithm to digitally tag individual animals, much like a human fingerprint. So this is a new whale shark for science.
Yes, and we named it Wilma.
Wilma the whale shark.
Microsoft AI gives us the building blocks to analyze public streams of photos and videos and identify individual animals in an instant. AI can determine location, date of sighting, migration patterns, and even an animal's social group. And an intelligent agent can contact the contents owner and ask for the missing detail. Microsoft's AI for Good initiative gives us the technology to create a comprehensive view of the planet's biodiversity. In the last 10 years, we've identified 10 times more whale sharks than ever recorded in human history. By leveraging citizen scientists together with researchers, we can form conservation policies. Microsoft AI will help us accelerate our work by empowering people to take action. What we get back is, wow, this is amazing.
So let us take a quick break here, and can anybody tell me what exactly is the problem that they solved in this particular category, that they demoed in this particular category?
So they were showing where all animals are getting endangered, means where all animals are dying. Endangered means there are only few animals. Of that group, for example, a tiger is endangered because of poaching and all. They have been endangered. So they're showing. Where animals are, that artificial intelligence thing is about endangered, they're finding where endangered animals in the world are.
Great. Sriram and all, you want to go next?
Yeah. So mainly their focus was on finding patterns of how animals are getting endangered and what they can do for that. So for that, as I said in the beginning, the first thing to do is to see where they're going, what their migration patterns are, and they're doing this by identifying individual animals based on AI. They're like their color patterns on their skin or fur, or like in whales, the ridge on the tails. So that's how they're trying to reduce endangering of species.
Exactly. They solved multiple problems here. First is the identification of animals. Before this technology, to identify an animal, they had to actually track down an animal and put an ID on the animal. And subsequently, every time they cite that animal, they have to actually, retrieve that ID and, put it in the database. With this, they can simply use a camera to capture an animal's photograph and put that ID into the database, and subsequently all the time that animal will be cited will automatically be tracked into the system. And over a period of time, using that information, they can find out patterns of migration, etc., and track whether these species are getting endangered or not. So a couple of uses of AI, artificial vision, machine learning to track the patterns, quite a few interesting use cases. So this way you can see that, what are the kind of problems they are solving in this particular category. Let us go on to the next one. Okay, so the next one is
There are an estimated 90,000
AI for cultural heritage. So this is for preservation and enrichment of the cultural heritage. There are organizations and folks who are dedicated to this cause, and they are looking for ideas to solve problems in this area and help these organizations. So let us take a quick look at one of the examples.
Ko te reo te hā o te Māori. My identity isn't just me sitting here, it's all of those above and all of those below. I connect to them through my language.
Our language is the key to our world. Without it, we lose that understanding of who we are. Māori was the predominant language in Māori communities, and after World War II there was a huge migration of people into urban areas.
It was an oral language, and it's only been a written language for 200 years.
The corpus of translated text is really small when you compare it to other big languages. And so we saw the language start to dwindle. If something wasn't done, then our language would become extinct.
Kōrero Māori i ngā wā katoa.
Speak Māori all the time.
Kōrero Māori.
I te ao i te pō. Speak Māori day and night.
We need AI and neural machine learning to revitalise the Māori language. So we started working with the team here at AUT.
We're using data that's only in Māori language. The more data we get that's specific to Māori, the better the AI we will create.
Microsoft are providing the platform, and then as people use it, it will continue to learn.
For language to survive, it must be normalised. It must be normal in every situation. It has to be easy, otherwise it won't be used.
What Microsoft Translator will do will mean that there will be more opportunities to translate and that the proliferation of translation will increase.
As long as we continue to find new ways to create access to the language, then people are going to continue to engage. We've reached this tipping point that gives you hope for the future, that our language will continue, to survive, and not only survive, but thrive.
So this was the cultural heritage category. In this particular space, Microsoft Translator started supporting the Maori language, due to which they are seeing both increase in adoption as well as their AI is getting more and more powerful, with the language. Now, the third one is humanitarian action. This is a very important area. Things like disaster recovery, addressing the needs of children, protect displaced people, and promote human rights, etc., is what Microsoft is looking forward for here. Let us just play the video to see one of the examples.
Human rights situation often deteriorate very quickly, and the faster we can get the information and we can react to the situation, it can be a real game changer.
New technologies are advancing so rapidly, and technology companies can advise us on how best to use those technologies to protect and promote human rights.
Our objective is automatic damage mapping, because after the disaster, the government needs the damage map to carry out the effective rescue. If we can save the time to grasp the ground damage information, we are able to save a lot of life and facilities.
In a new partnership with the World Bank, United Nations, and tech industry partners, we'll be better able to predict when and where famine will occur.
Operation Smile's vision really sinks in with what I feel is a fundamental human right.
What the volunteers do for the children may seem like a small thing, but they're able to change the lives of the families forever.
We're creating a chatbot-based experience for refugees coming out of the Syria conflict. The purpose is to have displaced youth find a way to discover and access learning materials. You can engage directly with the course content.
It's just the beginning of the impact that we hope to have with the tools at our disposal.
Now, AI for accessibility, and a point to note here is this is not the same as AI for health. It is very easy to confuse these two categories. Accessibility is primarily meant to help people who are differently able. Say, for example, somebody cannot see, and AI helps them to navigate around in a better way without the need for any sort of improvement in the vision. Versus health is something where AI helps a person to improve their health, track and improve their health. So let us go over both of the categories one by one.
We have so many pupils who are non-verbal, but still have so much to say.
I want the exact same information that my hearing friends have.
There are barriers to communication everywhere, but I think it's time we look at the barriers as opportunities to reach out to everyone.
Soundscape fills in a lot of the mental map as you move.
Approaching intersection.
You can just put it in your pocket and go.
With ALS, you become locked in. But we see technology as a way to give back what ALS has taken away.
There's no better feeling than to hear a child say something that they've wanted to say and the look on their face after they've been able to say it.
When it's reading, I see spaces between the words, and it's easy to focus on.
Anjay realized that here was something that could change his life.
Now that I have my phone, I can see exactly what was said, and that's been a huge help to me.
The system is learning as it goes, and the accuracy has improved tremendously.
Students can pick any language that they choose to receive the information. It's like we jumped into the future.
Because communication is very important for all of us, and we just want to be together and not feel left out.
Aider les personnes avec autisme à communiquer, il y a des images.
Je parle, je donne une information à Arthur et elle est traduite par l'application El Picto instantanément en pictogramme et après d'une façon orale.
Va t'habiller et te brosser les dents.
On va pouvoir remettre en place une communication qui est plus spontanée. Je crois que ça aide à recréer du lien.
Both my wife and I are totally blind, and we have a 3-year-old son that's in preschool. He can see, but his parents can't. So to be able to know what's going on at his school is everything. The Seeing AI app has the ability to allow me access to the visual world. Artificial intelligence is beginning to have an impact on the lives of people with disabilities, but it's only going to grow. There is still so much out there to be done.
All right, and let us go for the last but not the least one, which is AI for health to track and improve people's health.
It's the symbiotic relationship between the human and machine that brings the magic of AI to medicine in a meaningful way.
Now we have the tools to make a huge difference to human life.
Cancer research is increasingly powered by data. Those data remain siloed across institutions.
We're creating a data ecosystem that allows people to share data and making sure that we're doing that in a way that still maintains the privacy of the patients.
With the power of AI, we can go after the unknown. And I can guarantee that we'll find something that nobody expected.
Silent death syndrome scares every mother and father, and it is a problem we have to change. The collaboration with Microsoft, AI for Health, will help to start this next step of our discovery. Our data show very convincingly clear correlation between smoking and SIDS, and just changing behavior can save children's lives. You cannot measure the benefit of that.
It's a sad day when the patient comes in and I can't impact them.
Through AI for Health, we will be building an AI solution that can autonomously diagnose diabetic retinopathy.
With the portable camera, I can take healthcare to the patients who would not be able to come to us. I want you to look right here.
Going forward, we can address the 500 million patients that are out there and disrupt this disease. AI for Health and IRIS together can have that impact.
Today, there are 200,000 leprosy patients diagnosed every year. If you catch it in the stage of a skin lesion, you can cure the person. We are teaching an AI algorithm to recognize leprosy in an image of a skin lesion.
With AI, we can help patients help themselves to get to the right experts at the right time. If you can help a child to not lose their fingers, that means everything.
Innovation comes from bringing different perspectives together. And what an amazing partnership this is for all of us.
When you see that you can make a big impact on somebody's life, that's the greatest thing ever.
We can help eliminate the oldest disease known to man and make history. That's how we want to contribute to the world.
All right, so these were the 5 categories outlined by Microsoft. So far, does anybody have any questions? Cool, so it is time. Yeah, go ahead, Namin.
Sir, I didn't understand this AI for cultural heritage properly.
Yeah, so that is to help with preserving and promoting any sort of cultural heritage. Let us say there is a language, whose adoption can be improved. Say, for example, in India, we want to promote Sanskrit. Then any sort of AI tool that we can develop to, say, translate Sanskrit in a better way, or do something with it that promotes the usage of Sanskrit, that would fall under the category of AI for cultural heritage. Like Google Translate, yes.
Okay.
But that is just one idea. There can be a lot more ideas that can fall under the cultural heritage part.
Yeah.
There is actually another example that was used by the UP police. For the Kumbh Mela, AI was used to control the huge number of people. So they simulated the movement of the people to fluid mechanics. And using AI at strategic locations, they placed personnel or barriers or something like that.
Yeah, so all sorts of use that you can think of can fall under cultural heritage.
And Sanskrit also has been known to have a lot of relation with the code which we write. So I think
Yes.
I'm not sure if it has reached a high peak right now, but I think it's still in the growing phase. So everyone can chip in.
Yes, Sanskrit is one of the most well thought and logical language. And there are lectures out there by Stanford University by Donald Knuth, comparing that with those of the coding constructs and how it is so advanced that no other language can do it.
And the good news is it's not completely lost in India. We are still learning it in school. I am learning it. It's quite common in India. It's not lost. So that's an advantage we still have.
Yeah, even I have took Sanskrit, so that's the advantage.
Yes, so all the AI stuff that we can think related to Sanskrit would fall under the AI for cultural heritage. So now let us.
Excuse me, sir.
On the
Yeah, tell me.
heritage.
Sir, may I ask you, sir?
Yeah.
Sir, from the last meeting also I've observed, sir, you're from Microsoft, no, sir?
I'm from Amazon.
Sir, yes, sir. But the previous one webinar, sir, they were using Mac, sir. Couldn't they use Windows, sir?
Yeah, I mean, Microsoft is nowadays pretty lax for, allowing Macs. So they are not as rigid about using only Windows. That was before like 5-10 years. Now Apple and Microsoft are playing well together.
Sir, Microsoft employees have a Surface Duo, no, sir? Surface, Microsoft Surface
Yeah,
laptop.
lot of Microsoft employees also have Macs.
Sir, why do they prefer Mac OS, sir, than Windows?
I mean, it's outside the scope of this discussion. It's a lot of things related to developer productivity. So, I mean, it's personal preference, and they don't take it so seriously.
Okay, sir.
Okay. On the cultural heritage front, I have one or two
Yes,
observations, right?
Yes.
So there are, see, there are cultural things, a lot of things we can think of. For example, women do rangoli in the house, the patterns. So that itself is art. And there are so many ways, so many varieties of rangolis are there. Recognizing them and classifying them can be one area. There are a variety of rangolis.
Absolutely.
Traditional art. Then in temples of India, there are what you call the borders of sari, very intricate borders of saris and beautiful designs are done on the pillars. So classifying them can fall under this category. And then a lot of what you call palm leaves are there. The palm leaves, a lot of Sanskrit shlokas, all those things are there in palm leaves. The palm leaves are dying. So reading the palm leaves and translating that can be one of the activities. For example, the Sushruta, who invented surgery, the palm leaves are in Germany, not in India. So read the photo of that, scanning of that palm leaf, and reading the content of the palm leaf, translating that can be also part of the cultural activity.
Yes. Yes, the palm leaves one is a really good one. AI can jump into that and help with the translation and preservation.
And then there are a lot of home remedies like grandma remedies, which are really helping. But most of the time now, grandmothers and the traditional remedies which are done at home are getting lost. So recognizing them and probably providing them also can be one of the activities type of thing.
Yes.
I have one more thing. In several temples, there are like inscriptions, but no one knows what are they. So you can use that also.
Yes. So then of course, what falls under this category is reading of the ancient what is literature, that inscriptions on the temple, the Sindhu script, all those things also fall into the category, but they're all pretty complex. Okay, Dawal, proceed.
Yes, Guruji.
Dhavalji, there are also many languages like Tulu that we can work towards translating.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. They are all coming from the cultural part.
All right. So now Microsoft is providing some guidance around how to pick a category. I mean, there is absolutely no, this is not hard and fast, and there is absolutely no specific restriction on choosing a category. But if you want some help around choosing one, then they have a couple of points which I think makes a lot of sense. One is, out of all these categories, what is the one that moves you? So the problems that you are really passionate about are the problems where you will be working really hard by default. So, picking something that moves you would be very helpful. Secondly, while we see a lot of challenges globally, those are the challenges which have a very high degree of visibility, and a lot of people will potentially be working on them. So see if there is something local that we can pick up. That also gives the uniqueness factor, and there is also another advantage that local community will be benefited out of it. And third is lived experience. So if there is a problem that you've seen around, say within your family or within your immediate community, or say with your friend, and you were really moved or troubled by that, and you want to help towards solving that particular problem. So these are broad guidelines around picking the categories that will help with, selection. One more important thing here is that these categories we have to pick as a team. So far we have not really discussed a lot on that, but now we are going to form the teams for you. The team sizes can be around 1 to 6 people. Although you can work on your own, it is highly recommended that you be a part of your team, part of a team, and we will be forming the teams for you based on the guidelines that Guruji has given in the earlier session. If you want to be with some specific people in a team, do let us know so that we can assign you accordingly. Otherwise, we will be forming the teams for you. And then the team has to agree upon a specific problem. So let's say, there are 5 people in the team and all 5 of them have different ideas. Then as a team, you have to debate, discuss, and arrive at the idea that you all agree to work upon.
Can I suggest one thing, Dawal?
Yes, Guruji.
So what we do is, as a whole team of 15 people or 20 people, we generate some brainstorm and generate some ideas.
Yes.
We narrow down ideas to 2 or 3, which is workable.
Correct.
And then we ask people to form teams around that workable idea. Who wants to work on which idea?
That's also a very good strategy, Guruji.
Rather than starting from the team and finding the idea.
Okay.
As a group, find the 5 ideas, 3 or 4 ideas we want to work on.
Yes.
Then form the teams around the idea rather than the other way.
Agreed. I can create the mechanism to list down the ideas and vote, and see who, which are top 2-3 ideas that we need to work on, and form teams around that.
And
That's
then
a good
once we
suggestion,
narrow down
Guruji.
the ideas which we can work on, then the teams can be formed around that. Who is interested in working which idea?
Yes.
But idea generation, all people can participate together.
Yes.
And ideas, we should have a criteria. Idea should be one of these 5 categories: the culture and category name, and then idea, what ideas we are proposing, and the ideas, the evaluation criteria should be marks. So each idea should give a mark. Okay, and then add up the mark, and whichever idea gets maximum mark, that should be first priority.
Yes. Yes, Guruji. So yes, let us follow that process. Let us generate the ideas and shortlist them and form teams around that, which we should be doing within this week. But a couple of other things we need to take care of as.
Dhawal, is there a deadline for generating ideas, freezing on the ideas, shortlisting?
Let us have it by the session number 2. So that should be next week.
Next week. So in a week's time, the children have to generate the ideas and also shortlist the ideas, right?
Yes. Okay. And so a couple of things.
And rank them in the order of marks, feasibility, usability, all those things. Then we'll have a set of 10 ideas, ranking 1 to 10.
Yes. Yes, Guruji. And 2 more helpful tips by Microsoft here to help choose the ideas. One is that whatever idea or problem that we select, before proposing that idea to the room, let us go ahead and find some statistics on the problem. Like, what are some numbers around the problem? How many people are affected by it? What is the data that is related to the need to be collected to solve this problem, and things like that. So that will allow us to drill down and evaluate the idea better before we propose it. And this will also allow us to understand the problem before we propose the solution. And also see if there are existing solutions for a problem that you are thinking of. So if there are, then probably you need to think of something more unique or specific. So these two tips will be very handy on finding the ideas.
That I think will be got in the evaluation matrix itself, Dhawan. If you evaluation
Yes,
matrix,
yes.
you put a marks for that, then by nature they have to be focused on giving them before giving the marks. So then the marks itself, the marking evaluation fair objective evaluation system will bring out that.
Yes. So I will also quickly bring up that actually the judging criteria. So I forwarded this earlier in the group as well, but you know, this is going to be very objectively and logically rated, the solutions, especially on some of the fronts which are going to be immediately helpful for us to generate the ideas right now. Let's say innovative, how innovative is the idea? Is it already in existence? Then it gets low mark. Is it exceptionally innovative and it's a new idea and a significant contribution to the field? Then it's going to get high marks. And whether the idea is realistically solvable. So if it's not solvable, it's again getting low marks. But if it's solvable and scalable, then it's going to get high marks. And if you can use Microsoft technology to solve the idea, again it gets high marks. So while thinking about the idea, if you can keep a couple of things in mind, then it will help immediately with right idea generation. I will.
Does Microsoft expect the whole idea to be showcased, or is it just a proof of concept?
Proof of concept can also be given, but if the proper solution is given, it will fetch more marks and it has more probability to win.
But the proper solution may be pretty complex, no?
Yes. So I mean, it's fine either ways. Somebody might be having a really innovative workflow, which is just a proof of concept, versus somebody might have implemented a complex idea, but it's not that impactful. Then still the prototype might win. Let's say one of the ideas in the AI for health was, all the health institutes have their own AI going on, but somebody thought of a workflow to combine the data from all the institutes into a central place and process using AI. That is just a workflow suggestion, but it's a very high impact suggestion.
Yeah.
So I had one question.
Yes.
Do we have a high focus on the hardware part, or the concept and software?
Not much. Not much. In fact, hardware might increase the time to solve a problem, and AI and ML is largely around software. So unless there is something specific that you want to target, I would recommend that we go with the software route.
Okay, because in several of the examples that they had given, I noticed it has quite some hardware. That's why.
Yeah, so hardware we don't need to always develop. Let's say we assume that the user is wearing some sort of health tracker, and we just want to analyze the health data using AI. So that's where the AI application is really coming into picture.
Yeah.
Dhavalji, I have a doubt now. Does AI for accessibility also involve AI for e-commerce?
No, accessibility will largely not impact any sort of, they are completely two different things. Accessibility is like, helping people who are disabled. Let's say somebody cannot hear, or somebody cannot see, and somebody cannot communicate well, and AI is helping them to do so. E-commerce is, business/financial sort of problem.
Okay.
So last remaining slides. So when you submit the entry, judges will want to see that the problem sets clearly into AI for good categories. So that is one of the given things. And they will also want to see that your team knows very well about the problem that you've identified. So please take good time to research it and understand it. So let us check in on what we have done so far. We have learned about what we are going to do in the cup. We have learned about different categories, AI for good categories, and we will be forming a team, selecting a problem in the coming week. And in the next lesson, we are going to learn about how do we use AI to solve the problems that we have selected. And that's pretty much it from the session 1. Does anybody have anything else?
This has a
So I'll
major
also share. Yes, Guruji.
There are major milestones in this whole path, right? Up to May, correct?
Yeah.
So can we put a tentative dates for calendar for up to May?
Yes, Guruji, I'll do that.
Yeah, basically for milestone, we should put, because we don't know whether we are running behind or running short of milestone, whether we can participate or not, unless you put a milestone date. This is the date by which we have to achieve this milestone.
Yes.
Or be able to track our progress.
Yes, Guruji. So, I mean, by the end of lesson 5, we should be able to ideally submit the solution. So I'll schedule it in a way that allows this to, us to end before the actual deadline.
Yeah, let us put our own milestone internally and available to all the people, so that they know exactly. Yes. Because some of them have the school exams, some of them have assignments, and those things they should sync up with the overall roadmap.
Okay. Yes.
Dhawal, can we have monthly targets? Like from this session to the next session, what needs to be done, and it should be done.
Yes. In fact, the sessions themselves call out that, by the next session, you should be doing this. So we will have that the way we will be spacing the lessons, and like Guruji said, setting the milestones. I think that will be taken care of.
No, so we'll be having the next session in 1 week, right?
Yeah, because we don't need to do much apart from generating ideas for the next session, but subsequently sessions we will space in a way that will allow us to work on the solution.
Children have to parallelly work on, building up the technical skills also, right? It's not because we don't have much time. What is that they are required to learn along with, just coming up with an idea? Is there some programming language they have to learn? Is there some hardware they have to install?
3 things. They will not need to install any hardware. They will need to learn basics of AI. That is one. Second is, what are the Microsoft offerings that we can use, to solve the problem. So let's say we learn the basic of AI called cognition and visual search. And then what is the Microsoft tool we can use for that? So that is the second part. And the third part is a little bit of programming. Let's say if somebody wants to do some complex solution, then they want to use Python, then probably we want to help with that as well. So 3 parts: some programming and basics of AI, and what are the Microsoft tools that we need to use.
So shall we do one thing, guys, Dhawal? Next session, session, people have to present their ideas, show the marks, and defend their ideas. Other people will question.
Exactly.
It,
we should do this.
right?
We should do this.
Okay. So let's say I have an idea. I'll say this is the idea, and this I have given 5 marks for this, 4 marks for this, and other people will question it. So at the end of that, this brainstorming session, we will be able to some ideas we can throw out, some ideas we can arrange in a certain way. So it should be like a defense. Each person should come, each or whoever is that should come, 1 or 2 people together also can come out with the idea, and they should present the idea and defend it. It's not the sharing the idea in the group. It actually should be presented. This is my idea.
Correct. Yes. Right. And they also need to do very good amount of research for that kind of a session.
Yeah, that's one thing. Second thing is these 3 or 4 topics of study. What is there? We should assign it to groups. 3 people can study one of these areas. Like for example, AI for cognition, and they can give a presentation. It's like the learning they have to share with the group, rather than learning it at the home.
Yes. So what I was thinking, Guruji, is, since this will be a part of the lesson, some of the things basics, I can cover, and subsequently, we can have a discussion and presentation by iLeads. But this format is also good. I am having no issues with that.
No, you do formal coverage anyway. But in the meanwhile,
Okay.
I want them to do some homework. It's like they should be on their own to find out what is that. Then they should come and present. What they present may be not the right appropriate thing, right thing, but still they would do the homework. They will be prepared for your last classes.
Sure, Guruji.
Are you saying, Guruji, that the idea should not be some theory or a verbal expression? They should actually make a PPT, how it works from starting to ending.
Yeah, I can give you some idea. We'll go to moon, but then how to go to moon? Can I go to moon? What is moon? I don't know. No, I should be able to
it
defend
needs to
that
be a
idea.
very concrete idea.
So the child should come and say, defend. This is the idea I want to push. This is workable.
At this point of time, we need to have come up with ideas which are, very concrete and realistic. So from this, I mean, within this week, whatever ideas we think of, we need to think through whether it meets all the criteria or not.
So don't keep posting the ideas in the WhatsApp. You should work on that. Your ideas used to work. You should defend that idea. You should say, you should be convinced that this is the right idea.
Correct.
Are we clear?
Yes, Guruji. Jiva has a question.
Jiva?
Yes.
I actually did a mistake.
The question is a mistake? Question is a mistake or answer is the mistake?
I raised my hand by mistake.
Okay.
So it's clear, right? There will be a session after a week, and people have to come up with their ideas, and they have to present it properly with statistics and the feasibility, etc. And they have to assign marks for their project, their idea, and others will debate on that. I mean, if they have a question, they'll ask, not debate.
Yes, Shriram.
Yeah. So one of the categories, one of the requirements was using Microsoft software for, implementing Microsoft software to solve the problem. So right now, I don't know what Microsoft is providing or what kinds of facilities it's providing or what software it's providing. So will that information be shared, or is it available, or should I search for it? Or
yeah, so this is going to be a part of the lesson number 3. Sorry, lesson number 2. The real AI tools that you can use.
Okay, so
Dhawal, if this is known in advance, would it not help us to come up with the ideas? Because the more I know about the technology I'll be using, my ideas would obviously, I'll check if my idea will fit into that or not. But you are saying that first let the idea come, and then I'll tell you about the tools.
The way I think about it is that, the idea should not be constrained by the actual technology that you are going to use, whether it is realistic or not.
No, that
in terms
feasibility check, right?
Feasibility as in what? Whether the idea is feasible or not, or whether the technology is feasible or not. I would say
will my
idea generation
technology.
Sorry?
Will my idea fit into this technology?
That question.
Yeah, so that is where I mean some amount of freedom is better while you are generating the idea, because if you are too aware of the technology while you are thinking about the idea, then you are limited by the technology choices.
Right now, don't worry too much about technology. Focus on the idea. The next level technology will bring in, then some ideas will get dropped out or modified because of the technology.
Okay.
Okay, so then while presenting my idea, I cannot argue based on the available technology.
You assume that technology is possible. Technology is possible.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because and also we understand that once you start the working, then you may find that technology is not suitable. Then you may have to drop the idea also.
Yeah, okay.
Then what about the time invested into that, Guruji? Because we have a time restriction here, right?
Yeah, but then there's no other solution, because it will be too many things clubbing together will not give chicken and egg story. This week is focus on the solution. Next week we'll focus on the technology.
I think idea is very important. That's the base, right? I think that's why they gave time for brainstorming.
Yeah. Start with ideas.
Prabhuji, I have a doubt. So if after I come up with the idea, am I supposed to like make a PPT presentation on what I have done, or I have to tell it verbally?
You have to do a PPT.
Okay, Prabhuji.
You have to do a PPT. All right. You have to defend. Actually, everybody will criticize you. I will also criticize you. You have to say, you have to be really convinced that this idea is good. Okay. Okay then.
Okay. Okay, let us conclude for the day. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Harihi Om Shri Gurupyo Namaha.
Harihi
Om.
Namaha. Harihi Om.
See you all next week. I'll post the details, all the details on WhatsApp for the idea presentation that Guruji has outlined. And we will have that session next week.
Dhaval, I suggest that you create a PPT template in which they have to present the idea in certain way. There
Sure,
has the marks
Guruji.
and all those things. So it's like give a template, and that template itself will be evaluation criteria and how a structure of presenting the idea itself.
Okay, Guruji, I can do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Hari Om.
Okay. Hari Om.
Hari Om Prabhuji.
Vishnu Bharadwaj, can you stay back? Others can leave.
Hari Om.